Hello, Grace Chapel family. I am thankful to see you once again. It's a blessing to be before you. As you know, we've been jumping through the Gospel of John, and we've been walking through the Gospel of John. Currently, we're in John chapter 10, and I think we're done with John chapter 10. We're going to John chapter 11. But this week, we're going to take a break on our walkthrough with John. This is going to be a short video, a really short video, and I'm just want to get you ready for the sermon that's coming up this Sunday. I'm going to be preaching this Sunday, and then the following Sunday I will have the honor and the privilege to be able to preach and teach God's word to you. Kevin and Steve are going to take a break, and so I'm going to be stepping in and be teaching you guys. We're going to be flowing through Romans. Romans is fun. I love the book of Romans. There are a lot of heavy theological concepts in the book of Romans, and the theological concept that we're going to particularly fix our hearts and our minds on is the understanding of sin, original sin, federal headship, total depravity. These are different theological aspects that we do find in the book of Romans, and so we're going to dive into that. All right, just to whet your palate a little bit, we're going to be looking into what we call, once again, original sin. So what is original sin? Original sin is the corruption of all nature and inherited depravity, which even infants inside their mother wombs are affected with, and the root which produces in man every sort of sin. So the original sin is the root cause of all the sin that we see in the world. It is something that was been inherited to us, given to us, inherited from our federal head, Adam. And Adam, it was our federal head. And that brings me to my next theological term that we're going to be discussing throughout this next week or so, and that's federal headship. Federal headship is foreign to the modern mind, but it's a biblical concept. It's a teaching that the father is the one who represents his family and his descendants. See, that will probably be more fundamental definition of federal headship. But if we look at the theological landscape and we see what federal headship means from a sin perspective, from original sin perspective, we know that Adam was our representative. Adam was our federal head. And because Adam sinned and he was our representative, we all fell into that sin. All right. If we were to be in that same position with Adam, we would have failed as well. So it's important that we understand what federal headship is as we talk about sin. And our final theological concept that we're probably going to be jumping into as well is the understanding of total depravity. Total depravity is the first letter in the acrostic of the TULIP. Total depravity, unconditional election, limited atonement, irresistible grace, and perseverance of the faith of the saints. And so total depravity is extremely important. It's the foundational concept, and it's probably the most attacked theological concept of any, because total depravity hedges and ridges against the idea of the freedom of the will, the freedom of man, the autonomous free will of man. And so total depravity would teach that although fallen persons are capable of externally acts that are good for society, they cannot do anything really good, pleasing to God. God, however, looks on the heart, and from his ultimate standpoint, fallen man has no goodness in thought, word, or deed. He is therefore incapable of contributing anything to his salvation. Total depravity doesn't mean that you're just absolutely as bad as you can be, but it certainly means that you are a very bad person. And total depravity is foundational to what we understand for the understanding of original sin. If you don't understand total depravity, then there's this almost like a missing part of the full puzzle when we deal with the understanding of sin, the root cause of sin, and how we deal with sin. All right. So I just wanted to leave you with that. I think it's very important that you understand these concepts, and perhaps these concepts will be very helpful for you when you study the word. And I pray that you will study these concepts before the sermon that's coming up Sunday, because once again, these are all concepts that will be readily employed and discussed during these sermons. All right, with that said, I'm going to let you go. And like I said, this was a very short video, but this is no more than a primer just to get your heart and soul ready for this upcoming sermon. All right, I want to thank you and take care. May God bless you.